Hey guys, this is BiXX. Welcome to Mentoring Monday. Today's going to be a two-part topic because it's so important to our own happiness and quality of our life. Today I've got a very challenging topic, and by that I mean I'm challenging you and myself. Leading by example is the most important way to get people to respect you. How many people do you know who literally say, "Do as I say, not as I do"? Doesn't really work. In today's topic, I personally place a very high priority on this. When I demonstrate a high amount of this quality, I feel really good about myself and my self-confidence goes up. When I let this slip and I get too busy, I don't feel good inside. In fact, this is one of the least expensive and most powerful qualities you can possess. With it, you can go very far in life, in all aspects of your life, especially with friends and in business. Without it, you'll create your own glass ceiling. You'll get stuck and not understand why. Today's topic is, are you dependable? So it's about dependability. Let's be honest with ourselves. In some areas of our lives, being dependable, we're probably pretty strong. In other areas, we're not very dependable. But I'm here to tell you, at least from my perspective, you're either dependable or you're not. For me, there's no in between. The definition of dependable is trustworthy and reliable. So how can you be trustworthy and reliable in some situations and not in others? So do you understand how this can be true? I'm here to tell you that being more dependable will change your life for the better. It will have a huge impact on your life. It's the number one quality that most people look for in a friend, a business relationship, a marriage, just about any relationship. I guarantee you that being more dependable and trustworthy will change your life. I've been on both sides of this over the years, so I know this is true. Life is much more enjoyable and purposeful. There's nothing more special than two people depending on each other, and both are highly dependable. It's a great bond. Trying to be more dependable is a very noble goal. Are you willing to work on being more dependable? It requires you to be reliable, consistent, steady, even in difficult situations, especially in difficult situations. Let me say that again. Especially in difficult situations, because this is where your true intentions come through. To reach this goal of being more dependable, make sure you deliver your promises in a timely manner. Consider very carefully what promises you make, and always come through on them. In the end, your actions will show how trustworthy you are. In the business world, the best way to build your brand is to make a promise and keep a promise. Do this over and over, and your brand or reputation will be very strong. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's been about 2.5 years since I've gotten into the music industry as a business. There are some people I've worked with and currently work with who are just not dependable. I've met a lot of great people in the industry, so not everybody's this way. But with the undependable people that I'm working with, I don't trust anything they say. When they promise to deliver by X date, it never happens. I don't think they started life off that way. I think that maybe about 1 or 2% per year, it just started to change. They put less emphasis and less priority on being dependable. If you go down this path, eventually, over time, it becomes your new norm. Being okay with not following through on promises or commitments. And 5 or 10 years later, I've seen people so unreliable. I don't understand how they can be successful at anything that they do in their life. Life becomes a series of battles, of crises and problems. And the constant problems become their new normal. So again, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to be dependable all the time. So I'm going to talk about 3 methods of how to be more dependable. The first method will be the last part of this topic. The last 2 will be part 2 in next week. So 1, change your habits. Here are 6 steps or examples. Show up on time. What a concept. It's easy, doesn't cost anything. Call people on time when it's a phone call or a Zoom meeting. Be on time for meetings and appointments. When you're late, you're telling the other person, your time's not important. Sorry, but my time is. That's just a terrible way to be. I've been there. I've had people talk to me about it, and they were right. And so I don't do that anymore. I show up on time. I respect other people's time. Vince Lombardi was a very famous professional football coach, had this thing called Lombardi time. If you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Respond to emails and messages quickly. This drives me crazy. I can often tell you how successful someone is by how fast they respond. I'm not talking about solicitation emails, but emails from people that you either know or in your profession, professional emails that are sent to you. I try to answer all my emails within 24 or 48 hours at the very latest. When you respond quickly, you tell the other person you matter and that you have a sense of urgency. I just love it when a person has a sense of urgency. It means they have passion and energy. Here's a big one. Fix your mistakes in a timely manner. There's loads of consumer research that shows how fast and how well you fix a mistake or solve a problem will actually make the relationship better and stronger. People are impressed when a problem is solved quickly. I had a shirt that was too small and I had to email the company to get a shipping label. I thought that was kind of weird. You couldn't do it online. And they responded within like 5 minutes. Boy, was I impressed. I immediately ordered the right size. Conversely, if you drag out a problem and you don't solve it quickly, then you drag out the pain and you'll severely damage the relationship, if not end it. Deliver great work every time. Your quality of your work represents you. Life is so much more fulfilling if you put 100% into everything you do. It then becomes a habit. You'll be admired for your positive attitude and your professionalism. Don't be a slacker, or what sometimes I call it, a half-ass. Don't do things half-ass. Nobody likes half-ass work. And by the way, who wants the reputation of being a half-ass or a slacker? I don't. Delegate tasks when you need to. Otherwise, it gets very easy to get overwhelmed. But when you delegate, make sure the person's dependable and make sure the work gets done. You're still responsible for getting it done on time. And be patient with yourself. Changing habits takes time. Depending on what data you believe, it can take from 21 to 66 times of doing something daily for it to become a habit. That's a big range, but you get the idea. It took a long time to create bad habits. The same is true to create good habits. If you have a setback along the way, accept accountability and learn from it. It's okay, we can learn from mistakes. So to keep this talk under 10 minutes, as I mentioned before, I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. This concludes part 1. Next week, I'll talk about methods 2 and 3 on how to be dependable. I hope I've at least piqued your interest on how important it is to be dependable and how much you can improve your life. So until next week, this is BiXX signing off. And remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Cheers.